Russo's Playbook. All right, what's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of the NFL Rundown here on Russo's Playbook. As always, it's hosted by Pat and myself. How you doing today, Pat?
Doing all right. Thank you for having me, Russo. Happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know we got plenty to talk about, news and notes, bunch of headlines coming out this week. And then, of course, top five running back duos, running back tandems they have in the league. We'll talk about that, mention some honorable mentions. But let's kick it right off. So we have the Saints re-signing Ryan Ramczyk to a 5-year, $90 million contract, $60 million guaranteed, highest paid right tackle in the league. Shout out to my guy. That's awesome.
Yeah, much needed, too, for the Saints. Jameis Winston needs all the help and protection he can get if he's going to be, their starting quarterback. So, hats off to them for making that move and, getting him some extra protection. He needs all the help, all the time in the world in the pocket, I feel. So,
yeah. 100%. 100%. Another headline. So we had undrafted free agent wide receiver Tamorrion Terry. He was released by the Seahawks on Wednesday. Everybody's wondering why. He seemed like a great athlete, great fit. Well, we found out why. He was indicated with 11 other people for a 2018 nightclub shooting that killed people. So I mean, I see why they released him now. It's
I'd say, yeah, that's not a good look. Stop that, if you will. Not good.
Not good at all. Not good at all. Another, to me, not good, to be honest. So there was a report that came out by ESPN saying that there's no trade market for Aaron Rodgers. Why?
I think it makes sense.
Makes sense.
I mean, yeah, Russo. Think about we're about to start, the preseason here. Teams have made their decision on who probably is going to be their starting quarterback, who at least is going to be competing for that quarterback spot. I feel like they also see like he's kind of a nutcase.
Oh, don't even.
I mean, I'm not disrespecting his play style, but like he clearly I don't know. I kind of think Aaron Rodgers is just brings not diva, just brings bad vibes. Like I think he's just like a weird dude.
That's fair. Okay. I can see what you're saying. I mean, I can see where people are set, but like you're telling me like the Saints just sign the right tackle, have a steady O-line, steady team. They wouldn't want to trade for Aaron Rodgers?
I do think they want to, but I don't think they can.
Yeah, that's fair with the cap. But I'm saying like it's
I get it. I get what you're saying. Like, yes, like there are teams that would do it. I think at this point in the game, though, like I don't think many teams can. I think they just made that decision. If he's there next, if he's still wanting to play football next year and he's not playing with the Packers, or he does play with the Packers, I don't think he'll be a Packer next year. I think by then, teams will become interested again and probably make that move if the Packers will deal him, or he'll just retire. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation to think about.
I'd say.
Another crazy situation to think about: college athletes getting paid now for their likeness and brand. We've already seen plenty already signed, do multiple things. So I mean, that's dope. They deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's awesome. Keep that up, NCAA. I don't think the NCAA was too happy about it, but it makes all the sense in the world. All these schools are getting all these ticket sales, selling merchandise, and it's because of these student athletes. So I think they definitely deserve to get a piece of the pie. And I think it only makes sense that they're going to. Another thing is like even if you have like a great social media following, you're a student athlete, that helps. If you have that like high level likeness, you're getting a bigger check at the end of the day. It's pretty crazy the time we're in. This would have this happening years ago. I don't see it happening. Which actually I just want to raise this point. Like those guys back in the day, Reggie Bush, the Fab Five. I personally think like Reggie Bush should get his Heisman back, like his records and stats restated, like all that for sure.
He deserves it. Yeah, I mean, there should have never been anything wrong with signing autographs and getting money off that, or signing old gloves and footballs and stuff like that. I mean, there should be no problem with that at all for student athletes. And another thing to think about, especially for college basketball, you have players that need to be one and done. You know what I'm saying? They can't live off of just a free ride to go to school. You know, they need money coming in as well. Family may need money, this, that. So they might just go one and done from college basketball to the pros. So now that being able to get paid, maybe we see more players stay for 4 years, which would be awesome to see as well.
No, it definitely would. It definitely would. It's just interesting though. Like, I don't know how it goes down. Like, you're telling me, like, is it like a little kid comes up to you, like, can I have your autograph? And you gotta say, no, kid, sorry. Or like, how does it work? Are they meeting up with a guy, signing a bunch of stuff and giving it to him so he can sell it? Like,
yeah, I mean,
where's the line? I guess I'm asking.
I guess we'll wait and see where the line is, you know?
Yeah.
Because at this point they can go advertise for Gatorade, I'm pretty sure. The only thing they can't do is alcohol, weed, and so it was one other thing. There was like 3 things that was like, all right, like, you know, you're still in college, you can't just advertise for alcohol and cannabis and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
It is what it is, but they can still advertise for, I would assume, Gatorade, like, you know, anything really.
Yeah, no, it's gonna open up a lot of doors. A lot of doors.
Last year, you know how many people would have Nike, Adidas, everybody, I would assume.
Oh yeah, they're chomping at the bit.
Yeah. So that's great to see as well. And then last note I want to touch on before we get to the running back tandem. So Brandon Jacob, former running back for the Giants, now trying to make a comeback in the NFL as a defensive end. He's come out and said multiple teams of interest to at least bring him in for training camp and stuff. I mean, who and why? Who and why? That's my question.
I don't know. I don't know, and I'm sure these teams are petrified for the news to break that it was them, because that's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong. He's an athlete. He's a beast, but like, to learn that position in a short period of time, like, that's a skill set. Like, that's a craft that you work on for years and master. And sometimes it might be a craft that you can't master. So I don't know. Same thing with, Tebow coming in to become a tight end. Like, you got to like give these players a little bit more respect. Like, it's not something you just can pick up. I feel like it's something that has to be worked at and earned over a period of time, especially at that level. But hey,
and
I'm not the NFL.
The only difference I see in the two with Tebow and Brandon Jacobs, I mean, Tebow's 32 years old. If he actually did become a decent tight end, he could play for the next 5 years as a backup. But Brandon Jacobs is 39. He's not playing for the next 5 years as a backup rotation defensive end. I just don't see it happening.
I don't see it either. Maybe he was just shooting his shot, like, hey, Tebow did it. Like, let's see. But I don't know, buddy. I don't think so.
I mean, and multiple players. I think now I'm gonna blank on his name. So one wide receiver, Matthews, Rashard Matthews, something like one of it. Matthews. He was a wide receiver. He's saying he wants to come back as a tight end. He said like 40 pounds, put on muscle and shit. He wants to come back as a tight end.
Kelvin Benjamin?
Him as well, yeah. But no, it was another receiver. But yeah, so a lot of athletes want to try and come back just because Tebow did.
Dude, I don't know. It's just...
You got to think, Tebow had the right place just because it was Urban Meyer. If Urban Meyer's not there, Tebow is not getting that shot.
But you're telling me Tebow's about to run block, pass block, run routes, catch the football.
No, he's taking out of training camp. I think he's one of the first cuts, as he should be.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah, for sure. But let's move into our top five running back tandems. So I'll kick it off with number 5. I got Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon of the Packers.
Okay.
Great 1-2 punch. Aaron Jones is fast, quick, but he can still get the muscle down. And then AJ Dillon's like a train coming at you. So
yeah, that's
great 1-2.
Solid number 5. And they're probably gonna be running the ball a lot this year.
Yep.
For my number 5, I got Gibson and McKissick for the Washington football team. Both just studs. I think also 2 guys that are gonna be running the ball a lot this year. Then coming in my number 5.
Yeah, I know I said duos, but I got to come in at number 4 with a trio, and that's Jonathan Taylor, Naheem Hines, and Marlon Mack for the Colts. Because the 1-2 is there, but once Marlon Mack comes back from injury and he's healthy again, I mean that's three-headed monster right there.
Yeah, no, they're gonna be really well, and they all can catch the ball. Jonathan Taylor not as much, but it's gonna be a good thing for that team, especially with Carson Wentz, fresh quarterback there. So good for them. I had them as well on my list, coming in at number 2, but for number 4, I had I had Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette. I think they're a solid duo. They're definitely effective in the run game when they get the ball, and they run hard. They'll run through you. So they're coming in at number 4 for me.
Okay. Now listen, I know we said running back, so I got number 3, Lamar Jackson, J.K. Dobbins, and Gus Edwards. Because, I mean, that man's not saying he's a running back, so there's no disrespect to that, because I know he's a quarterback. But the way he can use his feet, he might as well also be a running back. I mean, that guy is electric. We've seen what he's done for the last, 3-4 years now. So I got to have him at number 3 because they've been number 1 rushing team in the last 2 years.
Yeah. No, I get where you're coming from. I wouldn't put him on my list. Is all. I wouldn't put him on my list. But hey, they rack up numbers. The proof is in the pudding. So I respect it. I have McCaffrey and Hubbard coming in next.
Okay.
I mean, McCaffrey. I mean, that's just he could be on this list by himself. Like, the guy's a stud, and Hubbard only is gonna help. So that's why I have him on my list.
Hubbard's gonna be filthy. I thought he could have been a first-round pick coming out 2 years ago. He went back to college, got injured, and it just didn't go well from there. So I mean, if he can get back to being healthy and in good form, that's a solid 1-2 punch.
Yeah, and I think that they needed that, especially for McCaffrey. Like, he can only do so much. Like, he can put the team on his shoulders for sure. I'm not saying he can't. He's showed us that he can. But I want to see him have like a long career, and I think adding another weapon in the backfield will help him achieve that.
Yeah, for sure. And then my number 2, Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray from the Saints. I just think we've seen what they can do. We've seen Murray step up when Kamara's not there, and we know what Kamara is when he is healthy in there. So they got to come in at 2 for me.
There you go. I have Zeke and Pollard coming up next.
Okay.
I know I don't. I think there's a lot to be proved. They got to prove a lot, especially Zeke. Ever since Cabo, I don't know, man. It's just it hasn't been good. So I think this will be a bounce back year for them, and I think they're gonna eat. I really do.
Since Cabo.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. That's true. Very true. But all right, number 1, I think we both can agree, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt of the Cleveland Browns.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's clear as day. We see it every Sunday. They are dominant.
Yeah, and they split it. Both produce.
Yeah, I mean, at one point I had them both on my fantasy team. Like, no shame, and they were putting up numbers.
Yeah,
and I think Baker Mayfield, he's shown crazy progression. I think anyway. So I think him being able to get the ball down the field too on his own will just help them eat. They're not every team is going to be thinking they're going to be running the ball every time. Now that Baker Mayfield can be that play action threat.
Yeah, for sure. And then let's just mention some honorable mentions here. So I got a few actually. So I'll just run it down real quick. I mean, James Robinson, Travis Etienne, I think they'll be electric this year. I think James Robinson's kind of out there to prove something when he's going to get his reps, just because they drafted a running back in the first round after he came in undrafted and showed what he could do. Another one, Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake. That could be a nice duo this year. I don't know. That's why I left them off my top 5.
Honestly, I feel ashamed I didn't have them in my top 5, and I had Zeke and Pollard over them.
It's not. It's not bad. I gotta see how Kenyon Drake does. We know what Josh Jacobs is, but I gotta see what Kenyon Drake does.
Fair.
And one more for you. My bad. Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison.
Yeah, no, these are all solid. These could be on legitimately on anybody's top 5 lists, and I wouldn't blink an eye. You pretty much you covered my you covered my honorable mention, so we're set there. But no, dude, I think that's a solid list. I'm excited to see all these guys eat this year. I hope I have a lot of them on my fantasy team. It's gonna be a great year of football.
Yeah, no, that's definitely for sure. Can't wait for it. We'll also be having some fantasy football coming out soon. I know our boys are gonna have the fantasy football going with the draft coming, talking about it and everything. So we'll see how it goes. We'll definitely have some episodes to touch on it, which you can catch on Russo's Playbook on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can read up on our blogs at russosplaybook.com. And we'll catch you again next week.
Peace.